I'm a music teacher and I've never heard the music from Super Mario Deluxe before in my life, so join me live as we discover hidden connections, understand how music works, and have some fun along the way. Let's get started with title. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Now, what did we hear there? We heard the start of that classic Mario theme. We heard motif A. And then I'm going to call it motif B. However, motif B starts but then goes somewhere totally different. And right at the end, the most naughty of chords, a C6-9 chord. Let's keep it. Well, let's actually break that down. So what makes a 6-9 chord a 6-9 chord? Well, when we have a C note, and then we have an E note, and then we have a G note, and then we have an A note, and then maybe we have another C note, but we have a D note on top. This C is 1, E is 3, G is 5, A is 6, and D is 9. Now the 1, 3, 5, these are given. These are all captured in the C major. Now the 6 and the 9, these are added in, so we show them over here. So that's a C6-9 chord. Let's keep it going. Sorry. Wow. Man, we're seeing a pattern emerging so far between the console games and the handheld games in this Super Mario series we're doing on this channel. And the pattern we're seeing is that games that are handheld, like this Super Mario Deluxe, I mean, it's kind of like they just got the composer and be like, hey, look, here's the themes. You gotta kind of hit them as you go by, but like, have some fun is really what it's. Not that they weren't having fun in the console games, but there's like a playfulness and like a non-taking itself seriousness in these handheld versions compared to the console games, which one of my main handheld Mario games is Super Mario Superstar Saga, which we'll get to in a couple streams here. But just a radical difference and like the feeling and the emotion of the music. What do we have? We got the tonic area C. To the subdominant area, to the dominant area. And if you don't know about the tonic, subdominant, dominant area, and even if you know them, it's nice to be reminded. The tonic area, this is our home base musically. This is the feeling of safety. This is how contrast and the story is told in the harmony of the music. Then the subdominant areas is like we go out into a bright, beautiful world. Here's our world. It's a yellow world, but that's okay, right? The continents are yellow. Look at the continents, how they shine for you and all the things you do, and they were all yellow. And the water is still blue. How about that? I'm having fun, and so are you. And then for the dominant area, this is like the height of tension. This is our evil robot. Grrr. who's our boss that we fight. And so this is how the story of the music is told. And one of the reasons why music sounds interesting to you. For example, if all the chords we played were in the tonic area, you can tell something's happening, but it doesn't have any like real shifts or movement in it. Whereas, let's do, tonic area, subdominant, dominant back to tonic. Let's keep cooking. Is it gonna do this the whole time? I guess it's doing it the whole time. All right, so what do we hear? We hear a C, a pedal tone C. It's just C going along. Now, on top of that C, here's what we hear. I'm paraphrasing the rhythm, but you can hear. And what's happening there is we're taking this little figure, this figure of the interval of a minor third, like an E to a G, sliding that down a half step, sliding it down another half step, and then we're back to C. Interesting, but not uncommon for things we've heard so far in this Mario series. Let's keep on going with this next one, Overworld Main. Oh, new bass. And that's going to repeat now. So we heard right there the classic Super Mario theme, a little bit different going on in the bass. However, we go all the way back to, I believe, the first Super Mario Bros. You're going to hear the same chord progression underneath it. In fact, if you're into Super Mario games, I invite you to go check it out because we've been doing the entire Super Mario series on this channel and going back and listening to the very first ones all the way up to this. You hear the progression of the majesty of Mario. Let's keep it going. Oh yeah. Yeah, back to that 6/8 instead of 4/4. Okay, it's just repeating now. So what's interesting is we could hear that this is almost identical in some ways in terms of the content, going all the way back to the first Super Mario Bros. Game. And indeed, having the Super Mario Bros., as opposed to just being Super Mario, like we had Super Mario Land, that was different from Super Mario Bros. We had Super Mario World, again, different from Super Mario Bros. But here we are back to that same name. And what we're seeing is that the Bros in the Super Mario Bros. Is carrying with it a similarity from the original trilogy. You know, when Jabba the Hutt was really like a person and not a CGI thing. And Han shot first. You know, the original trilogy. But the original trilogy of Mario, where we're hearing these pieces of music brought back, yet different change in tone, different change in the overall sound a bit, but it's like it is relatively similar so far. Ah, Roman2 says this is basically just Super Mario Bros. On the Game Boy Color. That's making more sense now. Thank you so much for that. See, I was going through, I'm hearing the similarities going, we've heard this before. And sure enough, we have. Okay, we get it. So it's the same OST with some extra tracks. So what I'm going to do here is, well, a little bold. I'm going to take some bold action here. I'm going to go find the tracks I have not heard yet that I didn't already comment on in Super Mario Bros. Because we already did that stream. And instead of me just repeating that stream here, I'm going to go find some new stuff. Type a 2 in the chat if you're down to rock and roll with me as we go find some new stuff. Yeah, I heard that. Now, right back there, we're back to the old style of the bass that changed. What we in the last stream we heard was Super Mario 64. They changed the bass, but up until then, that was a similar bass. All right, guys, we're going on a ride here. So we have the ending. We heard that. Now, this mix is different. Before, that sort of lower part was quieter and that upper part was louder. And here's a new one for us which is going to be You versus Boo. Let's check the credits roll real quick. Yeah, all right, super Starman theme here. Oh, this is different. I'm gonna listen to this. Here we go. Ah, that's changing the bass there too. So this actually has the bass from Starman from 64. So we can hear the bass here doing something much more similar to what it did in Super Mario 64. By the way, if you're wondering why my playing timing is atrocious, number one, my timing is the weakest part of my guitar playing. Second, it is because I have a delay between the headphones and the actual playing, so there's latency, which can get a little funky, which is why you see me do this sometimes. There we go. So that's actually much closer to the Super Mario 64 way of doing the bass line for the Starman. Let's keep it going. You versus Boo. All right, so what we have in You versus Boo is in the key of C major. We start on a 1 to a 4, back and forth, 1 to 4. In fact, I'll talk along with it as we go through one time here. 1 to 4. 4. Back to 1, to 4, to 5, 4, 5, 4. We're on the third line now. 5, 4, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. And now we're back to the top. Absolutely delightful and Yahoo, and let's go to our hoedown. All right, let's check out this next one, which is called Photo Album. We're in new territory now. So what we're hearing here is a classic example of a 12-bar blues. Now, why is it called a 12-bar blues? Because it takes place over 12 measures. What is a measure, you ask? Measures is a way in music we have of counting and dividing and understanding the time. So you can see here what I did is from here to here is one measure. And you can think of a measure as being like a measuring cup, right? A measuring cup. And in this measuring cup, there's going to be 4 counts of sound or silence. So each measuring cup here holds 4 counts of sound or silence. And so we have 12 of these measuring cups, 12 measures that makes up this blues in C. So 12 measures, each measure has 4 counts of 4 beats in it. And I'll show you how that works. I'll count one time, just a little bits of this. 3, 4, 1, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And I'm counting it twice the speed of the drums, because if not, it would be like a 6-measure thing. And so I'm actually assuming the drums are moving at halftime. And if you want to understand more about what I mean by the drums moving at halftime, if you check the courses tab on this channel, there's a free course that's going to walk you through the basics of music theory so you can understand exactly what I just talked about, because the drums normally you'd have a kick on 1, snare on 2, kick on 3, snare on 4. Here, we actually get a kick on 1 and a snare on 3. So it's like the drums are moving at half speed relative to the rest of the music. So this is a 12-bar blues. Bar is another word for measure, because when music is written down, measures will have lines like this that separate them visually for musicians to read and composers to write. So you can actually see it. So they call these bars. So from here to here is a bar, aka a measure. So 12-measure blues, and in common parlance we call it a 12-bar blues. And it goes 1. And sometimes you can have a 4 here, which is called a quick change, back to 1. But here we don't hear a quick change. It stays on 1. And then it goes 4, 1, then 5, 4, 1, 5. And right here, this is the turn around. The turnaround that turns us back around to the top. Let's keep it going. Challenge score. Okay, so this piece is a little bit different than what we've heard so far. So we have 1, which is going to be our tonic area right here. Boom, this is going to be our safety. Come back right here. We're going to have our subdominant area right here being the 4. Then we have the dominant area here, and then we have the 5 of the 5 here, creating a secondary dominant. So it's a I'm paraphrasing the melody, but you get the idea. Let's keep it rocking. Okay, so we actually have right here in Underwater Hurry, we're hearing the chords from Starman. Starman, by the way, is that invincibility theme. That right there. We're actually hearing those same chords here in the key of C major. We're hearing a D minor going to a 1 C major, and that is repeated. The chords repeated will never be defeated. So we have, here's the 1, excuse me, the 2 to the 1. Now there's a really interesting sort of like Latin groove thing going on here. Which also brings us back to the that connection we had to the fairy pond from A Link to the Past, and also in Super Mario Bros. 1 and I believe 3, or maybe it was just in 3. Point is, I can actually superimpose the, which means to put on top of. I can actually put the bass line from the Starman here, and it'll work just fine. And in fact, the bass line here is mirroring the bass line that we heard for the Invincibility Starman theme, again in Mario 64, in the sense that we're hearing the octaves. We're hearing the 1, 5, 1 relative to each chord. Super cool. Let's keep cooking. All right, we got it. Oh, that's fun. All right, we're gonna listen to one more track here for this OST. All right, so yeah, same chords as we heard before. This was a short one. Hey, if, yeah. This is a short one. We're going to call it here. I did not understand that this was going to be as similar to the Super Mario Bros. As it was, but everything's now making a lot more sense. Hey, to continue watching the next in the series, which will be Super Mario Sunshine, click over here, and if you want to see the entire playlist of all the Mario mainline games we've done reactions in order, they're going to be over here. Click on that, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and goodbye.